1912年，天津出现民国第一家武馆。1932年，天津仍是武术之都，各地小拳种入天津博名，风气未衰。
The film tells the story of Nanpai master Chen Shi's family broken down due to a war during the Republic of China. Chen left Guangdong to Tianjin in order to complete the Yongchun mission in Tianjin to promote Yongchun martial art. At that time, Tianjin was the capital of martial art, and Tianjin martial arts circles ruled that a foreigner who wanted to open a martial art club in Tianjin had to beat 8 Tianjin martial art clubs. Chen Shi asked Zheng Shanao to help him to open a martial art club. Zheng Shanao explains, there is a rule in Tianjin martial art centers. One master can only teach his real martial art skill to not more than 2 apprentices. Zheng Shanao has been the top master in Tianjin martial art community for over 30 years, but he has not taught his real martial art to an apprentice.
我年轻学拳啊，发过守密誓言。你呢？
一生最多真传2人。
如果我们再不教真的，要是早晚研究出来，我们的子孙要挨打。
你教？
不敢。天津的师傅都不敢，需要一个外来人先犯规。你答应教真的，我让你开馆。
There are 18 martial art clubs in Tianjin, and anyone who kicks 8 of them can open a martial art hall in Tianjin. However, Zheng Shanao says that no one has kicked over 5 martial arts clubs so far. If Chen Shi kicks 8 martial art clubs, and he will smash other people's job, then all Tianjin martial arts masters will expel him out of Tianjin.
好吧，按规矩来。
再晚2年，我也打不动。
不用你打，你打，被你踢的这武馆不会容你。教授个徒弟打，
不容我，能容他。
徒弟得本地找，天津人容天津人。我帮你挑一个吧。
Actually, this rule is a trick one. Zheng Shanao suggests Chen Shi to train a local apprentice, and Chen Shi teaches real martial art skills to the apprentice, like the apprentice kicks Tianjin's martial art clubs. To achieve his goal of opening a martial art club in Tianjin, in fact, the apprentice is just a tool for them to be used. After the apprentice kicks in 8 martial arts clubs, he will be expelled from Tianjin and can never return. Zheng Shanao is shocked by Chen Shi's Yongchun boxing skill. They reach an agreement. Zheng Shanao helps Chen Shi open the martial art club, and Chen Shi will teach Zheng Shanao Yongchun boxing. Zheng Shanao helps Chen Shi also has his own selfishness. Zheng Shanao is the highest martial art master in Tianjin. When he was young, he established a reputation in the martial art circles in Tianjin. He plans to maintain his reputation before he retires. Zheng Shanao understands that when Chen Shi's apprentice kicks to the 8th house, the Tianjin martial arts circle will eventually ask Zheng Shanao to fight against Chen Shi's apprentice. to protect the face of Tianjin martial arts circle. This is why Zheng Shanao wants to workshop Chen Shi as his teacher and learn all martial arts from Chen Shi. In this way, the prestige of Tianjin martial arts circle is preserved. Zheng Shanao also maintained the undefeated mythology, and Chen Shi can open the club. Chen Shi and Zheng Shanao's plan began. Zheng Shanao used money to buy Zhao Guohui as Chen Shi's wife to cover up the plan. In order not to attract attention, the Chen Shi couple also moved to slum. Chen Shi chose Geng Liangchen, a local young man who makes a living by pulling a cart in Jiaohang. Geng Liangchen has been selling bulk on the street since he became Chen Shi's apprentice, and he often flirted with the pretty tea-selling girl in the opposite street. At the same time, Geng Liangchen also violates Tianjin street rule, fighting on the street without seeing arrow, so he was kicked out by Jiaohang. Chen Shi teaches Geng Liangchen the real Kung Fu 1 year later, normally 2 years of the study time. Geng Liangchen only used 1 year to learn Chen Shi's Kung Fu, and is ready to kick martial art clubs. One day, Chen Shi and his wife are window shopping, but Zhao Guohui's wealth is robbed by a serf. While Chen Shi fights with 20 serfs, Chen Shi tells Zhao Guohui about his background experience. Chen Shi studied boxing at a young age. He lived in Guangdong, and his family had a lot of real estate. But after a mutiny, he is forced to wander in Nanyang for 30 years. When he returned to Guangdong, his master is dead, and only one building left for his family. Chen Shi plans to recruit his master first, so he comes to Tianjin to promote Yongchun boxing. After that, he will return to Guangdong to realize his family business. Chen Shi Kung Fu is very high. While he is talking about his story, he defeats with 20 serfs at the same time. Geng Liangchen has already kicked 7 martial arts clubs. At this time, the Tianjin martial arts club's chief could not sit still. They came to Chen Shi's house. Leading them is a woman whose name is Zhou Rong. Zhou Rong asked Chen Shi whether he instigates his apprentice to kick martial arts heels to achieve the goal of opening a martial art club. Chen Shi replies, "I have work to do, and I have my wife to raise, and why bother to provoke you?" Zhou Rong believes Chen Shi's word, and all chiefs left Chen Shi's place. When Geng Liangchen kicks the 8th martial art club, it is Zhou Rong's martial arts club. Zhou Rong asks Zheng Shanao for help. The original word in the film is this.
武馆不出人才，因为我们不教真的。
拳术自古秘传，广招学院的武馆是深造出来的。政客做政绩，商家做民生，等他们做够了，不再捐款，武馆的繁荣也就断了。好日子不长，何必认真
？That is why martial arts club does not teach real skill to students. In fact, they open the martial arts club to make money. Normally, Zheng Shangao's plan will be successful so far, but at this time, one of Zheng Shangao's apprentices, Lin Xiwen, comes. Lin Xiwen invites Zheng Shangao to practice. During the fight, Lin Xiwen cheats Zheng Shangao and defeats Zheng Shangao. Zheng Shangao is defeated and recorded by Vedio. Lin Xiwen's soldier are standing around them and holding guns, so Zheng Shanao had to admit defeat. Zheng Shangao's life's reputation has been taken by Lin Xiwen. Zheng Shanao has to retire early. Geng Liangcheng, who is now well known in martial art community after he kicked 8 clubs. Lin Xiwen feels that Geng Liangcheng is an obstacle to his development in the martial art circles, so Lin Xiwen wants to remove Geng Liangcheng from Tianjin. Chen Shi asked Zhou Rong that he and his apprentice would leave Tianjin and never come back. Can she not kill his apprentice? Zhou Rong refused. Zhou Rong invites Chen Shi to watch the fight between Geng Liangcheng and Lin Xiwen. Lin Xiwen took the injured Geng Liangcheng to a suburb close to a church after the fight, and he tells Geng Liangcheng that the doctor who is in the church will help him to heal the injury after he recovered. He needed to go upper north or lower south and never return to Tianjin. But Geng Liangcheng has lived in Tianjin for more than 20 years, and if he is the eldest son in his family, he refuses to leave. A rule in Tianjin poor families is that the eldest son over 15 years old need to leave their families in order to reduce the burden on the family. Geng Liangcheng left home when he was 15 years old. His family moved to northeast 8 years ago, and no more information from them after that. Now he is the only person in his family in Tianjin. Geng Liangcheng knows that running back would cut his intentness and he will die, but he still runs back. Geng Liangcheng runs to Tianjin and he does not want to scare the tea-girl, so he just looks at her from the distance. At the last moment, Geng Liangcheng helps push the cart and then died. Chen Shi feels very sad about his apprentice's death, and he plans revenge. He asks Zhao Guohui to take his property and go to the train station and wait for him back. If he does not go to the train station and just leave Tianjin to hide outside for a few years. On the second day, Chen Shi's martial art club is open. All Tianjin martial arts club leaders come, and Lin Xiwen also comes. Chen Shi wants to kill Lin Xiwen, but he is stopped by Zhou Rong. Then Zhou Rong takes this opportunity to leave for a short while, to get rid of her plan to kill Lin Xiwen. After a while, Chen Shi is crushed on the ground by a bunch of people. In the chaos, someone hands Chen Shi a knife, and Chen Shi kills Lin Xiwen with this knife. At this time, Zhou Rong comes out and says to Chen Shi, "It's obvious that you had killed the adjutant Lin." Chen Shi replies in a death seems. After that, he got out during the fight with 4 masters. Then he defeated the masters of Tianjin martial arts circle one by one in the alley. Finally, when Chen Shi confronts Zhou Rong, Chen Shi easily and quickly cut one of Zhou Rong's earrings in half. 陈实 comes to the train station and waits for a while, but he does not see Zhao Guohui in the station. He thought Guohui has left. So he takes a train to Guangdong by himself. When Zhao Guohui arrived at the train station, Chen Shi's train had departed. Zhao Guohui also bought a train ticket to Guangdong. Zhou Rong asked one of her apprentices to go to Guangdong with Guohui secretly, and at the same time bring a letter and half of her earring to Chen Shi. She wants Chen Shi to keep her mouth shut, and she asks Chen Shi to change his name, otherwise Zhou Rong could kill them at any time. Since then, Zhou Rong has continued to be the leader of Tianjin martial art circles. In the master, Chen Shi lives in the martial circle in Tianjin flooded with rules, in which none of the martial art clubs disobey the successive rules for generations without fail. Nothing can be accomplished without norms and standards. As the saying since time immemorial goes, all walks of life stick to their existing law in the development of Chinese society. Whoever one is, whatever one can, the norms of circle must be complied with. Chen Shi in this form as a successor to Yongchun of South School, equipped with powerful martial strength to beat down masters and disciples of 19 martial clubs in Tianjin, while even his follower can challenge 8 of them in 1 year. Despite so, he still has to adhere to the rules of Tianjin martial art circles to realize his dream of hiding the source boxing to the north, starting up the martial art club to the greater glory of his teachers. The word rules are from the very beginning of the firm, dominating the behavior criteria in all corners of Tianjin martial art club. According to the norms, there are 2 ways to go for an outsider like Chen Shi to build up a new martial art club in Tianjin. One is to get promotion of the head in martial art, which is Zheng Shanao, who presents his condition that Chen Shi must teach some real kung fu, while is prohibited provenly through the common practice for a year. Once it's broken, will he have no space to gain a foothold in Tianjin? With such consideration, he chose the second approach in compliance with the rule, taking a local person as disciple to impart martial art, who managed to challenge 8 clubs and was expelled from Tianjin. So the master procured the chance to establish his martial art clubs in Tianjin. Besides the rules about coolies, tea drinking, no arrow were on fight in the street, the function together to weave a network limiting people's behavior under which the future and the destination of human are quietly predetermined. Chen Shi has to follow the rules as a Tianjin outsider. He breaks through the past to settle down and get on with his life, as well as reflect glory to his master by taking disciples, suggesting the challenge, yet it never occurred to him that he can not only take advantage of rules, but encounter friction created by others using deceptive tactics under those rules. Even introduction, the military to destroy them. It's not the expected ending of Chen Shi at last, and his disciple was dead. His martial art club was not successfully built up, but blocked by 19 martial art clubs in Tianjin, for which he had to expose the movement and the posture of Yongchun, breaching the oath he made to his teacher and fled away in a flurry. Zheng Shangao is under the rule for his life, but still regretful for not teaching the real Kung Fu. Worrying about essence of Chinese martial art may be stowed by foreigner, while the Chinese are completely in the dark. But finally, he was surprised by the rules and the desire for fame and fortune. That's why the ending in undying regret for the martial art, as well as a bad reputation owed to conspiracy by his own disciples in the contest for them to dedicate the teachers. He can only hide himself in Brazil as a cocoa planter. Zhou Rong graded the courier for his deceased husband as both a rule practitioner and a power abuser. He racks his brain to make sure of Lin Xiwen to ruin his reputation and murder Geng Liangchen, who challenged the 8 clubs for Tianjin martial art. Then lent Chen Shi's hand to kill Lin Xiwen. Albeit his success of expelling Chen Shi, she didn't make it recur the feeling of 19 martial art clubs in Tianjin confronted with Chen Shi's Yongchun. Actually, although there is a rule of challenge openly, one can see through the tea drinking norms to find the bottom line, which is untouchable to challenge 8 Club Street. It is only a secret when the 19 martial art clubs sit for reputation and fervently protect the rule of no earnest. There is always a belief that one must adapt to the rules of a circle to peacefully settle down in it. The rules are the thorough principle, but are they right? Should they keep pace with the time in accordance with social development and human progress, or why are the ignorance and the violation to these rules so common? No debate is everyone in restriction of a series of rules, which formed into a paradox, just like Chen Shi in the form, fighting against each other for emancipation and waiting for the rule breaker. But what action should be taken to the old rules before the emergency of the breaker? There is always someone trying to dominate those rules. The reason why people are upset in excessive rules, however, it seems that no matter how time changes, the inherited rules are ought to be followed in and out. Mercy and Teddy, they are part of our life with no reason to reject. In other words, overhauling them on one's own is unrealistic. Those warriors hating the war of old rule and beaten to a pulp on the road like Geng Liangchen either leave a piece of glory behind and flee with panic like Chen Shi, or be the server or winner like Zhou Rong, who put up a ladder to a bus tower and rules. As for the result, good or bad, it only depends on the person who works the way up on this ladder. The attitude toward the rule behind the time need to be rectified. The formation of many social constructions gets its own independence, lagging behind the alteration of social acceptance, which is called the cultural daily. I admire greatly for the brave minority who break the rules for justice, but the prerequisites to try and break is the sufficient comprehension, the discovery of existing limitation, and a new suggestion to replace the old rules. One incapable of solving problems but blindly rebel against the rules will make server responsibilities than the slaves to convention.